Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So today's video is going to be how I set up my bullet journal style sort of month page at the start of every month. So if you want to see how I do it and what my sizings and all that are, then just keep watching. Alright, so I always start off with a couple of things. So the first thing I'm going to do is take out my February page because I like to use that as reference. And then I'm going to flick to March and grab that page out. So that's got my first week of the month on the other side. And then to do this, what I need other than my paper, of course, is a ruler and some pens. Now the pens that I use for this are my Unipin fine lines. I have them in basically every point up from point 1 to point 8 except for point 7, which I'll get eventually. But I just like having the different widths because I like using a different width for each of these. Now this is going to be a kind of arduous video and that you're going to see me just doing a lot of lines. So I will speed up any time that I'm just drawing lines because it's going to take a little while. But mainly for the measurements and everything, I wanted you to actually see how I do everything bit by bit. So to start off with, I usually grab my 0.6 and I do a border all around the outside. That's really simple. So I'm going to speed through that now and I'll be back in just a sec. Okay, so then from there what we need to do is I always start with this part because then I can work the rest of it out. So because February only had 28 days, I'm kind of a little bit short here. So what I'd like to do, and I tend to do this with pencil because I'm just a little bit cautious all the time, is just go up the dots along the side until I get to 31. And I do count them a lot. I do double, quadruple, 100% check that I'm right because I only get one shot at this. If I mess it up, then I've also messed up this page. So I don't ever like to do that. So all I do is I just go 31 because March has 31 days and just go up. So there I can see how many I need to go up. And then my measurement here is always 6.5. That gives me just enough room to be able to do everything I want to do. So it's 1.5 for the days and then the 5 for the sort of what's left over. So the comments and stuff like that. So I always measure it out because it's easy to do it now in pencil. And then all you have to do is really go around the outside. It's pretty simple. So I'm going around in 5. I'm going to do 5 the whole way around and then, yeah, I'll do 5 through the middle as well. Sometimes depending on how full the month is, I like to kind of make it a 4 or 2. I reckon I'll just do 5 this month. So I'm just going to go all the way around these, including doing all the lines, and I'll be back in just a sec. All the lines are drawn, so that's the simple part. Now I'll show you just sort of how I fix up a couple of boo-boos because I have missed. I was talking to Ryan and I missed. So what I always have in my little pencil case here, and of course it's at the bottom, is my Signo ink, I think it's called pigment ink pen. And it kind of works as a bit of a whiteout kind of thing. So you have to kind of dab it as opposed to draw with it. But it basically does, it's basically an eraser. It gets rid of any of that. So then what I'm going to do is put in all the actual days and dates. So I like to just do it Friday, Saturday, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So February finishes on Thursday, which means March must start on a Friday. Think about that for a sec. This is where I'm starting to learn to like my handwriting slowly. So I'm just going to go ahead and do all that and I'll be right back. Alright, so all my numbers are now in, and this is the reason why, this next bit is the reason why I like to do this style as opposed to just having this already printed. And that's because I can kind of change up the boxes and bits and pieces to whatever I want to do. So because I like the way this one's set out, I'm going to do very, very similar. And just a little hint that I do, and I'm just trying to find where I put it. I use my smaller ruler now that I don't have so many big lines to do. It's just a little bit easier. So what I do for the little box at the top, which is where I put my month, so I'm getting my 0.5 back in. In case you were wondering, I did that in 0.2. And then I'm just going to draw a box. I'm going to put it, I don't know if I want to make it bigger or smaller this month. I think I'll just go, I'm going to do it the same size as last month. So this one's going to be 2 centimeters high by the 6.5. So basically I'm just leaving 2 dots at the bottom instead of 1. Just means there's that teeny weeny little gap. Teeny, slightly bigger than the one that would normally be there if I just did one. And then I can put a sticker or whatever I like there. For the boxes down the side, I'm going to keep the same as last month, but I'm going to actually use some of the stamps I got at the Sydney Planner Market. So I'm actually going to show you how well. I'm going to put them in there as well. So these boxes here are 5.5 by 4.5. So basically on your page here, it's going to be all the dots across the top, so leaving just a 1 dot gap, and then it's just 5.5 high. So I'm going to do the same thing, so another 5.5. I'm going to say how big was that actually. Before I do, keep rubbing out the white. I'm just going to grab my ruler back. So 12.5 to the bottom. Means that bottom one's going to be a bit bigger. Because this month it went a bit low, it was a bit bigger because I used that quote card. I think I'm still going to do it. I like the 5.5 and that big thing at the bottom. So I'm going to do that still. And this is why I love doing this, because I can change it up. I don't have to always do it the same way. I am a slight creature of habit. I like to do things the way I know they work. But there's no harm in trying something new every once in a while. And this setup in particular allows me to do that. Actually, I am going to change it up just a little bit. I'm going to do 2 boxes of 3, and that leaves me with 0.5 centimeter in between. And just do 3, and leave 1, and then do the other one. Might be able to do like so I always do a birthdays box. I find birthdays at the start of the month in one place are easy to keep track of than putting them on actual days. I did that wrong. No, I didn't. That's just me though, it seems to work. I can see them all in one place. Sorry, Jet's rolling around on the floor and he's being really annoying. But I might be able to do like a this month, next month, something like that along there. So I'm just going to show you guys how I stamped them. So that's the basic layout, and the boxes down here can change to be whatever size. Obviously width is a bit different, but I can make these slightly wider or not as well. So it's not really that complicated. I am also just going to quickly rub out the pencil marks. So I did have pencil all through there. Whoops! Don't do that. Then you get awful fold marks in your pages. So I'm just going to grab these ones. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to grab these. I'm going to grab my ink pad because I forgot that. I'm just using my VersaFine one. I just find this the crispest one I have. And grab this little one. So I'm going to put this one that says tasks at the top. So you can choose to put it wherever you like. You can put it off to the side or in the middle. I'm going to put mine in the middle. I'm going to grab myself out a baby wipe in a second. I'm going to put a don't forget. No, I'm not. I'm going to leave the next one because that's going to be my birthday one. I don't know how many birthdays I've got in March actually. And then I'm going to do an ideas and a goals. So that's what these two are going to be. So goals at the bottom and ideas, that second one. That actually might fit. I'm just going to check how many birthdays I have in March because I don't remember. So I just keep all my birthdays in here. That way I don't forget them. Oh look, I have no birthdays in March. That was good. So what I'm going to do, because I have no birthdays in March, I'm going to use this little to-do list style one. This is where stamps scare me just a little bit. Sometimes I think I'm going to mess it up. Then I'm going to make it, I'm going to put this one here that says to do, and that one's going to go in the top there, so it's the title. And then I'll just decorate this throughout the month. I might use some washi tape, probably not quite so much washi tape this month just because I've already got, there's not really a lot of room left. Sort of the time I'm going, okay, well I need to put the month in there. So hold on, I'll get the month too. Get all my stickers out. Ugh, too many date covers. Just don't know what colours I'm going to go with, so I don't really want to use anything that's other than black. Oh, I'm going to use my honeysuckle ones. If I remember to get month ones, I don't remember. I'm going to use these ones. I think I've used this before. I have a feeling I used these a couple of months ago. I'm going to grab the March one, and then I can decorate. If I want to, I can always take that off and move where it is. But that's basically how I set it up. The tasks, the to-do, the ideas and the goals, that's just whatever I feel like doing this month. Because I don't have birthdays, I don't have birthdays in here. But if something comes up and I do have to put a birthday in, I can just write it in. It's not a big deal. And then just as the month goes on, I just add in what's going on. Some months it stays like this, which I've obviously got a lot happening at the start of the month, nothing in the middle, and then a little bit at the back. I add things. Sometimes I take things away. I haven't this month, but sometimes I do. But that's basically how I set up my monthly kind of spread. Sometimes it's boring, sometimes it's a bit more. So it just depends on how I'm going. But I'm really loving using this. I feel like I use this more than I used to use my old double page one. Certainly a lot easier to keep track of what's going on as just a monthly overview. But then I can put all the details in my weekly spreads, which makes life much easier for me. So thank you very much for the people who did request that I show you how I set this one up. I would love to see if you do recreate this for yourself, if you do it in your Bujo or if you do it in your TN. I'd love to see how you do it. Make sure you tag me if you do happen to recreate it. Other than that, guys, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!